Hey there, and welcome to the Big Apples Code podcast. My name is Sam.
And my name is Michael.
And today we're asking what's the crack about cities versus towns.
Towns,
we're going to have cities versus towns. So we're going to define them for you. We're going to say where we are from, whether it's a city, a town, the country, or in other words, countryside. What those places are like in our home countries. What are the advantages and disadvantages of those said places?
Yep.
What the world would be like. What would the world be like without cities and towns?
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to pick your brain on that.
Yeah.
And the characteristics of a good city. We're going to give you our ideas on that. And where do you think most of your family and friends prefer to be? So we're really going to give our opinion, dig into it and give our opinion.
Sure.
And I'm kind of pro-town and you're kind of pro-city, yes?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I'm a city boy.
That's what we're doing. So I'm going to argue for towns. And so, to elaborate on why we're arguing for that.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a city, a town, or the country?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm pro-city. Yeah, I grew up in the city, right in the middle of the city. In the other podcast, I talked about my city, so you can
listen for that.
Yeah, you can go look for that.
Watch out for that. All about Nigeria. What's the crack about Nigeria?
Yeah. So I talked a lot about my city. So it's a town, it's a city, and it has a population of like 1 million, probably a little bit more right now, because the last census was in 2016. So that's quite some time now.
It's a pretty sizable city.
Yeah, definitely.
Not like a capital, but it's a pretty sizable
not
city.
Close to the capital, definitely. What about you?
I am from a town.
Oh, I see.
And it's got much less than 1 million. It's got 22,000 people.
I see.
And by Northern Irish standards, it's a kind of a medium-sized town, maybe even big by Northern Irish standards.
Yeah.
So it's 22,000. I think medium in Europe standards.
Yeah, definitely. Basically,
for towns, it doesn't qualify to be a city.
Why?
Why? So we need to clarify, because especially if you look in some languages and in Russian, it's город. City, город, town, город.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
So it's the same word.
It's the same word, yeah, definitely.
We want you to be clear. We want ourselves to be clear.
Yeah.
So what, in your opinion, based on your home country, what's the difference in a city and a town?
Yeah, I think the job opportunities in the cities clearly distinct from what the city is to a town. So when we're talking about job opportunities, we mean like a place where a lot of people live, a place where you can find.
Is it more than 1 million, or is it like?
Yeah, it could be about 1 million and even more. Yeah.
Or is it even 300,000? Could that be classed as a city?
It could be classified as a city if all the infrastructure are there.
Right.
There's an airport, the factories.
Right.
There's this movement, there's this kind of dynamic in the city.
Right.
And
100,000, could that be a city?
Well, that is debatable.
Is your borderline, right? Your borderline town.
I don't know. I really don't know so well about geography, so we need to dig in to find what city.
It's not just about numbers. It's about infrastructure.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have an airport?
Yeah. Institutions, educational institutions and all that.
A university or a college for their education or something.
Sure.
So, I'll tell you, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
I live in a town, 22,000 people, but I live near a city.
Right.
It's called Armagh, Armagh.
Okay.
And Armagh is officially a city.
Yeah.
But I don't know the actual population, but it seems smaller and more backward than Portadown. Now, it's a nice place, but it doesn't seem as to have as big a vibrant population, to be as active and a hub, just like my town.
Yeah.
But it's called a city.
Yeah.
And it qualifies because, one of the reasons is it has 2 cathedrals.
Oh, I get it.
And it hasn't got an airport, but it ticks some boxes. And it's an advantage for the council because it's you get a little bit better benefits from being a city. So that's why they aim to get it qualified as a city.
Yeah, even though it doesn't seem to be to really qualify for a city.
So in that case, it's more like a box ticking, you know. But it is one of the categories is that it has a cathedral or two, and it does have that. So it's got maybe it's got some infrastructure or some public buildings or some religious buildings.
It's not so obvious, you know, what the city should be like. I understand what you're saying.
But I would say, for me personally, I would say if it's 200,000 plus, I would say that's a city.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, it's that little bit more population. Whereas, I mean, I say less than that, you're thinking town.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there needs to be a dynamic. You talked about being the hustling and bustling. Yeah, it should be something like that in a city. Because when we talk about towns and smaller towns, in most cases, you find people, they're much more less busy. Yeah, they don't have any. They have almost nothing to do.
They're not rushing about.
Yeah, there's no movement, nothing. You know, everything is calm. Every other person know each other. Yeah, but in the city, you might not know your neighbor for ages. You know. Yeah, so
you may never speak to your
neighbor.
You
may never do that.
Right.
Yeah, so
it's good. It is a lot about population, but it's not exclusive. It's about how the population maybe is. How they use their time as well. Are they busy with work and stuff? Sure. We're going to get into that later.
Definitely.
What is a suburb? we've just explained what a city and town is.
Yeah, sure.
What's a suburb?
Yeah, a suburb to me is those bubbles hanging around the cities.
Right. So it's kind of hanging on to the city.
They're hanging on.
There's not really much gap.
Sure.
If anything.
Yeah, if people from there are going to go somewhere, so where are you from? They're going to name the city, you know. Like, for example, I'm from Novosibirsk. And then when you start talking about the disadvantages of living in the city, they say, oh, really? You know what? I live in the suburb. Around the city,
Because I come Gordock, right?
Yeah.
I kind of classify that as a suburb because there's a bit of space. But technically, if I'm right in saying, I think technically it's part of Novosibirsk. So if you live there, you can say, I live in Novosibirsk.
Yeah, sure.
But for me, I would regard it as a suburb.
So it is a suburb.
There's a little bit of gap between the two, and it's not so far away. It's big enough that the same infrastructure works for everyone.
I mean, in the case of Academic Gordock, I think it has a status the way it is right now because of the scientific elements of the suburb, because there are a whole lot of other suburbs around Novosibirsk, not as well as developed as Academic Gordock, and
it's a little bit of a special, special case.
Sure.
What is the country? Yeah, this is a strange question. What is the country like in your home country?
I say, sure.
This could be confusing. Country means countryside.
Country, definitely. I mean, I'm faced with explaining this to little kids in the class at times, and it could be challenging. Very good. Yeah, well, a country in my own home country, that's Nigeria, has elements of what we've been talking about. Less infrastructure. Nigeria as a country has challenges with infrastructure. And then if you're talking about a country, Nigeria, then it has, more challenges when it comes to infrastructure and all that.
Do you have farm animals? A lot of farming?
Yeah. So, I was going to come to that, actually. People, it's okay. Yeah, sure. Probably read too much about people in the country in Nigeria actually live on agricultural resources. Yeah, definitely. They have a lot of challenges from
cows,
from clean water to whatever, to medical service and all that. But they live on agriculture. Agriculture, science, and everything.
So most people live on that. It's not just like it's not just an industry or an option, but people survive because of agriculture.
Yeah, because of agriculture, they survive. They grow food for themselves, and they sell some of them to survive.
Whereas I think the country in Northern Ireland, well, first of all, I would explain it as being very green.
Yeah, has it?
We've no shortage of water.
Yeah.
we just maybe don't want it all sometimes. So much rain.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of farming, a lot of agriculture.
Sure.
Mainly cows, some sheep, and other things too. But it's not. It's an option,
Yeah. All right.
If you live in the countryside, you don't have to be a farmer. It's not. It's not a survival.
Oh, I get it.
It's just an option. And some people choose not to because it ties you down.
Yeah.
You have to be there.
Yeah.
You have to. If you're not at the farm, you have to make sure someone's there to look after them.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Okay. So let's get into the nitty gritty.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Of course,
it's
sure. Why not?
Fight time.
Let's grind it out.
No punches below the belt.
Oh, no. Definitely.
No black eyes, please.
Yeah,
My wife will be cross. And your wife will be cross.
Absolutely.
So what are the advantages? And this is more for you because you're arguing city, right? What are the advantages of living in a city?
Yeah, well, as someone born in the city, I just said the advantage is like be born in the city. Actually, there are a lot of advantages. I mean, in life we have to continue to develop ourselves, move from one level to the other. And the only place where you can see that happening, it's the city. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're kind of like gonna live in the country or the towns, then you might be stagnant. I'm not saying you're gonna be stagnant.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you might be stagnant, and I don't want to see that for myself or for any other person. So
it's development.
That is one of the greatest advantage for me.
Self-development.
Yeah.
And you've got a developed area around you. People developing
That's
themselves.
what I'm saying. Yeah, they're gonna be people throwing challenges at you.
Shouldn't be helping you here.
They're gonna be people throwing challenges at you. You're gonna look at your neighbors, your friends, people who are. I mean, you do things together with, and probably it's not the best idea to compare yourself, but you can look at them and you can try to change or develop something in yourself. So people push
they give
each
you
other.
motivation.
Yeah. So that's why I think being in the city is more better. Then we have another element I don't like is like everybody know everything about you, like gossiping about you. Everybody know everybody. I don't like that.
In a town.
Compared sure. Everybody knows. Everybody's out. Okay. They know everything happening to you. So you can't hide and all that. So you're kind of like living as a celebrity or something, and you don't want to be a celebrity if you don't want it, like me. So
okay.
It's
I'm gonna argue against
all
that.
Right. So
but later.
There's still more. So probably you're gonna give your points right now. Then I'm gonna tell you more points that I have. Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a heated debate.
Yeah. Sure.
No fighting.
So
no
what about you? What do you think town's better?
Okay. So a town, you've got infrastructure.
Yeah.
You've got people around
basic
you.
Infrastructure.
Well, okay. So of course, this depends on which town. But I'm thinking of the town I live in. And there's good infrastructure.
Sure.
It's got. I suppose I'm going to have to talk about my town because I don't really know towns in Russia, or in Nigeria. I haven't been to Nigeria, so we have a transport system that brings us to the city. By train. You can go by bus, or you can take your own personal car. And
there are enough roads. There are good roads.
Good roads, a good railway line. Wow. So we have a connection. So it's not like the countryside where you have to travel a bit to get to like civilization. So it's got that little bit of distance for me. It's got that little bit of distance from a city, like 50 kilometers, 30 miles, something like that. And so you've got that little bit of distance from the hustle and bustle. You've got a more calm attitude. I mean, a big part of it, I suppose, is too that I've got family there. I've got friends there.
Sure.
I think that it's a little bit easier to get to know people. Not that it's impossible in a city, but I think it's a little bit easier to get to know people. They're a little bit friendlier. I would say that arguing for the countryside, I would say that people are even more friendly in the countryside. I think that the more the population, the less people pay attention, the less friendly they are. So I think in the town, they're that little bit friendly. Still not super friendly. But they're a little bit friendly.
I mean, people cross each other, quite easily. Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully people will be friendly enough too.
Yeah.
So
if I clearly remember from the beginning of our discussion, you kind of had an argument that your town is qualified to be a city. Yeah. And
no.
Now you're using your town as a case of a sample.
No,
an example in this case. I think it's not fair.
I have to correct you. I didn't. I was talking about Armagh, not a place.
Yeah.
My town is a town. It doesn't qualify as a city, and I'm happy that it stays as a town.
I get it. Yeah, sure.
You've got enough. I mean, we've got enough shops.
Yeah.
You've got one cinema. It's not a lot, but we've got one cinema. So we've got something to do.
Yeah.
We've got friends and family.
I get it.
We've got infrastructure.
Sure.
We haven't got an airport.
Yeah.
But it's so you have to travel that wee bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's got a little bit more homely feel. I know I'm biased because I was born there. But it's a little bit homely feel.
No, I mean, I understand what you mean. Yeah, definitely. A town of such capacity with all the things you've listed, I think, it does make a sense if you choose the way of life to have a calmer life. But in the case of Nigeria, such a town, even with the population you've got, will definitely not have all these facilities like train and stuff, good roads.
You're making excuses.
Cities. In most cases in Nigeria, like even good roads. So not to talk of town.
Okay.
So
even cities, right?
Yeah.
So maybe spoiler alert for the end of the podcast. Maybe it depends where you live. Which country you live in.
I mean, but it depends. It does depend. One advantage of living in the town in Nigeria is that you're gonna be on 100% natural food. Definitely. So
organic. Grown in your own.
100%. Yeah, sure.
You grow it, or your neighbor grows it.
Definitely. Yeah, sure. Everybody does around you. So, I mean, health is wealth.
Is there a lot of kind of camaraderie? Like they'll help each other. They'll share food.
Yeah. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of societal organizations. Like they gather their harvest and the sap together and stuff, and try to form a bigger corporation and all that.
It's a good. So you're helping me here. Thank you. Is there more camaraderie? More of a kind of community.
The fact is a fact. We in the city, we still spend a lot of money to take care of our health and all that, and most of human deficiency, I think, when it comes to health, I think is from what we eat. Yeah, sure. We are what we eat. There's a phrase like
we
that.
We are what we eat.
Yeah. So
therefore, I'm a giant chicken. I'm a big chicken.
Yeah, I'm a little bit overweight. Yeah.
Sorry if you don't eat
with
chicken.
With a pot belly. No, I like chicken. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Right. So we've talked about the advantages.
Sure.
Let's get down to disadvantages. Let's throw in dirt now.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So maybe I should do about cities. I'm going to be negative about cities.
Okay, right. With all pleasure.
You don't mind?
Yeah. Sure.
Don't fall out with me, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Disadvantages of cities, I would say. Listen. I live in a city, right?
Sure.
And I have lived in a city in Northern Ireland. So it's not. I'm not trying.
You're not a novice. I'm
not trying to put down cities.
Yeah.
I'm not making them a negative thing too much, but I'm gonna.
I mean, it seems you're never gonna go back to the town again. Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
it's they have their advantages.
Sure.
As a place for finding work and stuff.
Yep.
And a place as a hub. Somewhere there needs to be an airport.
Yep.
Somewhere there needs to be a lot of organization.
Yep.
A government.
Sure.
So you have to have cities for that, of course. Yeah. But I think that on a negative point of view, inevitably there's a lot of fumes from transport.
Yep.
You've got all kinds of different transport which creates fumes, which creates noise.
Yep.
And that's negative on people's health.
Yeah.
You're breathing it in. You're listening to the noise, night and day, maybe. And you may not be conscious. I mean, it doesn't annoy me too much. Maybe when I'm walking beside the street, but I think it does have an effect on your health.
An impact, sure.
And even for some people, a strong negative. So it's got that bad side to it. I think as well that you can feel
the human factor you're talking about. Yeah, sure.
And I think you can feel alone in a big city.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of personality you have, you can find it quite difficult to make friends.
Yep.
You can be surrounded by millions of people, and at the same time be alone.
Yeah, you need to. For me personally, that's what I enjoy. Those challenges. Trying to mingle, trying to find people for yourself, and all. I really enjoy that.
I think. I mean, it isn't impossible to make friends in a city, but I think it's a little bit harder. You have to push yourself a little bit more. You have to push yourself. Yeah, definitely. You have to go out of the box. Maybe do some, get involved in some course or some activity.
Be a member of some clubs and stuff.
Hobby, whatever, and you have to kind of do that to get to know people and become. And I think in the town, you probably have to do something like that too. But I think it's maybe a little bit easier.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you on that point. Yeah, sure.
It's going to be an easy debate.
Oh, really? Wait till I get done with you, man.
Right. What do you think's bad about towns?
Yeah. The disadvantages about town.
You mentioned a couple of things.
Yeah, it's just the psychological point of it. Yeah, sure, definitely. There's this case of a big fish in a small pond, or a small pond with a big fish, stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm just really, really very concerned about being backward, living in town.
Yeah.
Probably it's just a stereotype, or I'm speaking out of being a novice about living in the town.
Because you've not lived in the town.
I've not really, but I've visited a lot of time. For example, in Russia, every year in summer, I do live in a town, in a village, probably to say, for 2 months. So I know the village life very well in Russia, I mean, I've been doing that for more than 10 years, so I've got a lot of experience.
I think you know it quite well.
So if you put 2 months and 2 months times 10, I've been living in a hotel,
So that's 20 months?
For quite some time, definitely.
How many years? So 1 3/4 years?
Yeah. You see, I can say so.
It's a little bit of experience.
So, definitely. I know a little bit about town. So that being that backward a little bit, it's because,
do you feel cut off from society?
I like what Sting said. He said it takes a man to be ignorant. Excuse me. He said it takes a man to be ignorant, and it takes a man to. I've forgotten that line. Do you remember that line from Sting?
I don't know it.
Shape of My Heart. Yeah.
I don't know it.
It takes a man to, I'm an Englishman in New York or something like that. I don't remember. So there's this line.
I know the song, but I don't remember the words.
It takes a man to be ignorant and smile, or something like that. So, I mean, it's not funny for me, to leave the world behind and, just want to enjoy my calmness and my greenie and my fresh air.
Calmness. That's an advantage. Leaving the world behind, for some people, that's good.
But I'm ignorant. I don't know what it is like. I don't know what. You practically have not seen nothing before, and that is a pain for me. I don't want to leave like that. When I was a child, in the past, actually, we had a family tradition. We would go to the villages in Nigeria with my family time to time. I don't really know the history very well, but my grandfather was somehow living in a village a long time ago. He was the first person to build a story building there. So he built one-story building. Like 2 floors, you're gonna say in Russian, right? He was the first person in that village do that.
Very innovative.
Yeah. So anytime we go to the village,
did he get a lot of opposition? Why did you do that?
Not really. We got fame. Anytime we go to the village, anytime we go visit the village, people always say, "Oh, these are the kids of the man who was the first to build the story building." Yeah. Cool. So what I want to say, anytime we went there, it was not very often, probably once, twice in a year.
Yeah.
We went there to visit this village. Even as a child, when we're leaving, I just look back and like, nice people. They give us everything: food, animals. I got my first pets from there. Wow. Guinea pig, rabbits. They can give you everything.
Give you pets?
They can give you everything. They're very, very nice.
Here's my child.
But I just look at them and I was like, oh my God, yeah. Probably, I don't know if they've probably seen a plane in the sky. Yeah, probably. But
I think it would shock them.
They've not even seen the plane face to face. They didn't have electricity back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they don't even know what a switch.
Hopefully now
they don't even know what a switch it's
a
like.
Light switch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, even as a child then, that was really kind of like, hard to take for me. And it goes on. If we're talking about even 21st century, living in the town, well, it depends. I guess, hopefully not your town, but I mean, some other kind of towns that you are backward and you really don't know what's happening.
So, I mean,
it's not funny. Yeah.
We've never not had electricity in my town.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always had a television. Yeah. My first mobile phone was 1999.
Oh my goodness!
I was the first in my class.
Oh really? So I can imagine you had those pores.
Yeah, I was cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
For a short moment. But so I think it's very different what a town and a city is, depending on what place of the world you're from.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think we've kind of. Do you think we've debated enough?
I think it's enough. Yeah, sure. All other things are very obvious. Yeah, all other things are very obvious. Yeah. A lot of roads, a lot of cafes, boutiques, or whatever.
You've got a lot more to do in a city.
Yeah.
I will admit that.
No.
But I mean, depending on the town you have, you can travel and enjoy going to another place and doing going to a city and doing other stuff. So,
I mean, in the town you can have just like a kind of stable life, and in the city you can hit it off. Yeah. I mean, you can.
I mean, the city is the best place for a good job.
Sure.
Whereas the town, you can't always get the best jobs.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll be honest.
A stable life, you know. Yeah, the same thing, what your uncle did and everybody did, and you continue to do that and stuff like that.
And somebody has to live in towns.
Yep.
As much as somebody has to live in cities.
Definitely. Too. And that is why in Russia, I mean, there's this tradition of dacha, because everybody wants to get out of the city.
Yeah.
At the weekend.
Yeah, they want to escape kind of.
Exactly.
And it's maybe healthier for them.
Yeah, it is.
What cities have you been to? In the world.
In the world, I've not been traveling a lot. Yeah, sure. When we talk about like big cities I've been to, then it's gonna be like Cairo, Istanbul. I've been there. Doha. I've been to Doha.
Right.
I mean, not so big.
Where's Doha?
Doha is in Qatar. Yeah. So not so big, like really big, but I mean, it's quite a big name. They're gonna host the next football World Cup.
Right, I should know.
Yeah, then you will know.
I need to remember that. I have been to Tel Aviv.
I see.
And Jerusalem. I went to Israel.
Cool.
Lots of cities in the UK.
I see. Yeah.
I think
a lot of cities in my country.
Well, I mean, but most people have traveled who live in the UK have traveled to those. So I'll not really mention.
Yeah, I mean, just like me in Nigeria, I've been to virtually all cities in Nigeria.
I've been to Perth and Adelaide in Australia.
Wow, that's cool.
Lots of cities in Russia, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I've been to the capital before.
Yeah,
I see.
I haven't spent too long there, but I've been there. Yeah,
okay.
I've been to Buenos Aires once.
Oh wow, that's wonderful.
And I mean, to visit, I think it's a nice thing to visit. My favorite of all is Dublin.
It's Dublin.
I like Dublin. I like the shops, the bookstores, a little bit of shops for modelling, building soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I really like Dublin.
Yeah. Now I remember I've been to some other West African countries, like Accra, Ghana, Togo. What is the capital city? Yeah, but I mean, I mean, but very, very small. The country itself is small. You can drive across the country just like 45 minutes. For 45 minutes, you can drive across it.
Wow.
Yeah, 60 minutes. Yeah, if you're not driving, you can drive right across the city. So I've been there too. Sure.
So what would the world be like without cities?
Yeah, it's
better, worse.
It's gonna be like probably Stone Age.
Stone Age, yeah.
The Stone Age, right? Yeah, Stone Age, not the Stonehenge, but the Stone Age.
The airports would all be out in the desert or something, or wilderness.
Yeah. No, probably we're gonna be flying on, dinosaurs or
flying dinosaur, pterodactyls. Pterodactyls.
Sure. I mean, the world without cities is gonna be very flat. Very green, very natural.
Green?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good though.
People are gonna be original.
Maybe healthier?
Healthier, original.
More original. There'd be less big brands.
Yeah. Like the way we live in the city. Yeah, sure.
Franchises and stuff.
We're gonna live calmer life. We're gonna pay more attention to people around us, and the nature.
It all sounds good to me.
I mean,
I think cities is winning this debate.
It is. I mean, it is the fact. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think from the psychological point of view or philosophical point of view, I think humanity deserves a calmer life and a more realistic and reasonable life than these probably rat race we are in. Right. Yeah, sure. So I think
you're living in the city. You're kind of rushing to work.
Yeah.
Do your job, rush home again.
Yeah,
eat your dinner, go to bed.
I mean, I just came back. From my summer holiday, and for 2 months, I had to slow down my life. I could only see walls, trees, and the sky. Yeah, for 2 months. And I definitely know what it means to slow down your life. And so...
Did you feel better?
Very, very well. Yeah, sure. When I came back to the city, I remember I was a little bit, depressed.
Bit of a shock.
A little bit depressed, but my life is in the city. After some time, I got my groove on. I got my friends and partying.
You wouldn't want to stay in the town.
No. I'm going to visit the town, as much as I can, but I'm not going to leave in the town.
What makes a good city?
Yeah, well, a good city, I think, should have a good culture, I think. You've seen some cities in the world, like I heard about Minsk, Belarus. It's one of the cleanest cities in the world.
Yeah.
In Japan, too, they're really, really very clean.
Yeah.
These characteristics are something cultural. Yeah.
Right.
So I think a good city should have... culture,
low crime rate.
Yeah. Of course, sure. I mean, those are basic. I'm trying to look at some very core things, Yeah, low crimes, of course, definitely, because you hear a lot of scary news from everywhere in the world right now, and it makes you feel like, oh my God, So a good city should have good culture, infrastructure, transport,
good transport system,
very
cheap,
good
efficient,
transport. Something like in Novosibirsk, you can go from one side of the city, the last end of the city, to the other end of the city, for almost nothing.
A few more metro stations would be nice.
Yeah, I mean,
I would like a few more, but I like them using the metro. It's quick.
Sure.
You get there and back, and it's much quicker.
We need more. We deserve more.
We want a few more stations.
We deserve more.
Please, if anyone's listening.
Please, yeah, sure, definitely. Oh, we're gonna vote you out. Sorry, that was slip of tongue.
I didn't hear. What did you say?
I said we're gonna vote you out.
Where do you think? No comment. Where do you think most of your friends and family prefer to be? The ultimate question. This is the decider.
Yeah, most of my friends.
Most of your friends.
Yeah, prefer to live in the city. Virtually all my friends live in the city right now. Okay. And I've got friends living not only in Nigeria. I have friends living in other countries. Yeah. In Finland, my friend lives in Helsinki. Yeah, he's my very, very close friend. He lives there. That's the capital city. Yeah. Then two of them live in Helsinki. Then in England, a friend of mine lives. He's the only one living. It's Swansea.
Swansea. Yeah. It's not the capital. It's a city though. If I'm right.
Yeah, I think Swansea.
I'm not sure if I.
In Wales.
In Wales, yeah. I'm not sure if I visited Swansea. I visited Cardiff, which is the capital. I'm not sure if I.
He was living in Cardiff, then he got a job in Swansea, then he moved. Yeah, sure.
I forget where exactly that is. So, well, I don't think we're going to win this argument with each other because
what about
most of my family and
sure.
friends prefer to live in the town. So we've got a clear divide.
Absolutely.
And I guess we can argue there are certainly benefits of the city.
Sure.
Certainly benefits of the town.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe more benefits in a town in the UK, than in Nigeria.
Sure,
maybe
sure.
There are more difficulties there with infrastructure and development. So I think we're going to call it a draw.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a Russian culture. Yeah, talking about culture is a Russian culture. But friendship wins.
But in my mind, I know that cities have won.
Yeah. I mean, we both spoke on the both, on the both sides. Yeah, I agree with you. We're talking about health and calmer life and whatever. Yeah, but I want to be in the mix. And
because it depends what you want.
It depends what you want and what life is for you.
Yeah. What do you want out of life? So, So guys, that was the Craic. Thanks to Michael about cities.
And thanks to Sam too.
And towns. So cities versus towns. So we talked about the definition of them, where we came from. We talked a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages of each, where we visited, the characteristics of a good city, and where our friends and family would prefer to be. So that was the Craic about cities versus towns.